Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. My match reaction to United drawing 1-0 away from home against Wolves in a game which, was frustrating at times, but there are definitely positives to take from it. Obviously, the major kind of negative in the game for United was the missed penalty, and the major frustration really was the fact that we could have won that game. That was a major opportunity, and whatever went on in that penalty, I don't understand why Pogba was taking it when Rashford scored last week, and he looked so assured on penalties, Marcus Rashford. And yes, of course, Solskjaer came out after the game and said that Pogba and Rashford were both the designated penalty takers, and they sorted it out themselves. I just think that Rashford, he just looks so much better on penalties, and every time he takes a penalty, he wallops it in the back of the net, no matter where he puts it. And I think he just looks a lot more confident on it. So I don't know what that sort of decision was, but of course, if Pogba scores a penalty, then we're not talking about that. We're talking about a United win away from home against Wolves, and actually a decent performance really from Manchester United. I think that Wolves overall, were. They played alright, but at the same time, they didn't dominate the game like they did in the last few times that we played them. And actually, they didn't have too many clear-cut chances at De Gea's goal. And we had a few decent chances, especially in the first half. But I was so happy for Anthony Martial, really clinical finishing from him to get his second goal of the season. And a really good move. And, when we went 1-0 up, I was really hopeful that we could kick on from there. And I think, really, we need to get that second goal, in that first half, just to kind of, settle the nerves and just make it a bit more of a difficult task for Wolves to come back into the game. Because when there was that one goal kind of cushion, there was always going to be that chance that Wolves could just equalise and get back into the game. And lo and behold, they did with a brilliant goal from Ruben Neves. You have to ask questions, though, with the marking on the edge of the box of their best, best strike of a football in Ruben Neves, someone who scores more goals from outside the box than inside the box, having that sort of space on the edge of the box. It was a really well worked corner, but at the same time, you've got to ask questions on the marking there. But overall, I thought our performance was actually quite good, and I think we were in some ways unfortunate, but in some ways we were the architects of our own downfall in terms of not winning the game today. I thought Harry Maguire was all right today. I didn't think he had the same sort of game he did against Chelsea, but going away to Wolves is always really tough for opposition defenders. I thought Wan-Bissaka played alright today. Obviously intercepted the ball and tackled the most out of any defender in the Premier League this week. So, really happy for him in that sort of sense. And of course for Martial getting his goal as well. That partnership between Rashford and Martial is going to be key this season if we are going to be successful and get into that top four. And they linked really well today, to get that goal. And hopefully that partnership continues to flourish throughout the season. Daniel James' performance, I thought he did alright. He's shown little bursts, a little kind of turns and flicks, which there's a lot of potential there. It's just we need him to kick on, and hopefully his kind of final ball improves. Because I think his end product is definitely something that needs a bit of work. But if he can get that into his game, then we might have a really good young player there as well. So overall, I thought it was an alright performance. I think obviously it's a bit frustrating we don't come away with the win, especially when we had the chance to win the game. And really, of course, if we are going to kind of get top four and potentially challenge for the league, you'd like to think that we beat opponents like Wolves. But in reality, it's been a really tricky game for us, Wolves away in recent years. And I think we actually played quite well, so there's a lot of positive to take from that. And as you know, guys, I'm just generally a bit of a glass half full kind of guy. So ultimately, it was a bit annoying. We only got the point, and we're not top of the table, but we still lie in the top four, and of course it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we might be looking back on that point saying it was a very decent one at the end of the season. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.